Oh, man. Oh, good people. Good morning. It is week number 6 in the NFL, and we are here and we are ready to get this game day going. I know we got the Dallas Cowboys not until tomorrow night, but we're going to have fun here today because it's going to be breakfast in Britain this morning. We're going to start live streaming at 10 o'clock. And since it's going to be a long day because we have Baltimore versus Tennessee, which will probably be a snooze fest. We got Washington versus the Falcons at 1. We've got Seattle and Cincinnati also at 1, which will be an interesting one. We've got the Eagles going against the New York Jets without sauce. There ain't no sauce. There ain't going to be no hot sauce. We'll see what they do. And then rolling through the night, we'll be watching the New York stinking Giants, who stink. They stink, going against the Buffalo Bills. And anything can happen in the NFL. So we're talking about 13, 14 hours of football. And none of it's the Dallas Cowboys. So to make it a little bit more fun, make it a little bit different, have a little bit of, change of pace, we're going to be here at the Red Brick House working, watching, and, hanging out. So it's going to be a different type stream. I've got a few things that, when the game gets to be boring and all that, take a break, put up some trim and things, come on back, talk to you guys. I think I'm going to cook breakfast down in the kitchen. We'll have a camera and a mic down there so we can see the kitchen in action and stuff. Maybe even make like some nachos or something like that. Yeah, so just have some fun with the day, watching football, taking care of history, and relaxing before tomorrow night. Because tomorrow night, we've got, of course, the Dallas Cowboys going against the Chargers. And I'm finally not saying San Diego. I still think it's crazy if you've ever been to San Diego, why you would move from San Diego to L.A. But be that as it may, it's all about the money because San Diego is really, really, oh my God, it is nice. The people are nice. They're not going to spit in your face like they will in L.A. But be that as it may, I digress. It is going to be fun today. We're going to have a ball. You might see some things you don't normally expect to see on a game day Sunday as we get ready to wait for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, I have to say, a lot of times I get a lot of text messages and emails, and I can't answer them all. Comments on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and stuff, and I try and do the best I can to reply to as much as possible. It's just hard to get to it. I have a person who started out as a troll, Jason, who's a 49er fan. But it's kind of evolving. I mean, he would come in and, he said I was, what was it? It wasn't a rabbit. There's some animal that's got a short memory. I can't remember what it was, but it was a reference from Pulp Fiction. Goldfish, that's what it was. It was a goldfish because he's like, you have a short memory and stuff. And, he basically told me that the 49ers were going to bitch slap me. But, this troll is actually, it's kind of evolved where he's actually, kind of cool people. I'd actually like to meet this person and actually have a conversation with them. He lets me know all the mistakes that I make and how stupid I am. And like I said, I was special teams. I was the hot man that was a wedge buster. Two things that have been outlawed because of brain damage in the NFL. And I'm getting old and, I make mistakes all the time. And it's not that I'm just lazy or anything like that. It's just I just make mistakes. And I do one takes on these things. But Jason pointed out something that's very, very interesting, as I was saying that if the Cowboys get embarrassed by the Chargers, I can see Jerry Jones being very, very impulsive and firing Mike McCarthy during the season just because he can. The expectations of this season, when you think about it like this, when you think about the expectations the Cowboys had of when they were hosting the Super Bowl in their own house, they had Wade Phillips is the head coach. They thought that everything was great. They had been good a few years before. And then all of a sudden, the whole season went down the toilet and just fired Wade Phillips and brought in Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett, he turned the season around, not enough to make the playoffs or anything, but, he gave you some hope. If the Cowboys have no hope, we're kind of in the same position. But what Jason pointed out, which is very, very true, he's like, be careful what you wish for, which is kind of what I've been saying about just getting rid of Dak Prescott. If you get rid of Dak Prescott, there's the unknown of, are you actually getting something better? Or do we go through quarterback carousel like we did back in the right after Troy Aikman and before we got Tony Romo? And I also had said that, Mike McCarthy could get fired as well and this is what Jason said, be careful wishing for Big Mike to get fired. You're right. Quarterbacks don't grow on trees. Either do head coaches. Niners had 2 dumpster fires between Harbaugh and Shanny. Tulsa and Chip the Chip Kelly were god-awful. Niners going into the dogfight tomorrow with Cleveland defense. I think the Niners win 20-16. West Coast teams almost never play well in early starts of the Eastern time zone, and Cleveland defense is legit. I think Dallas will be back on track to meet with the Chargers, but Cowboys get the win 35-32. So, shout out to the troll. But he's right about that. Because just because you make a move doesn't mean it's going to be the right move. And the problem, like he admitted, finding coaches is hard. We've seen so many failing, and we got a great example of both of those things. The Denver Broncos are in purgatory right now. They're fire sailing everything. It has just been god-awful with Sean Payton. Sean Payton is pointing fingers at everybody but himself. You got mollywopped 70-20. And you think about Russell Wilson, who, Denver thought all we need is a quarterback. They've given up between Sean Payton and Russell Wilson 3 number 1 picks, multitudes of players, a couple, 2 number 2s, I believe, and a couple of 3rd-round picks. And right now you look at this and say, is Sean Payton the guy that's going to be able to coach them to something? Is Russell Wilson, who's got a phenomenal cap number you're stuck with for another year, is he the guy? So you talk about tearing things up, which some people say, they're going to tear things up, but they are so deep in the hole, who knows when they're going to be able to get out. When you talk about 3 number 1s, those have ramifications down the road. So be careful what you wish for here. So before we get out of here, because I've got some things I want to set up, I need to run to the store and get some wood, because you always got to have plenty of wood. I want to listen to what the talking heads have to say about Dak Prescott this morning. So let's go. All right, so this is one of those clickbait YouTube things and all that. So I didn't have a chance to get it myself this morning. But so it's going to have the picture go sideways and all that. But it's good enough for what we need here. Yeah. Let's go today. Sub 500, including a 42-10 drubbing in San Francisco Sunday night. There we go. Dallas had given up just 41 points heading into that Niners game. So a lot of people wonder, what's going on? Where's the consistency? Where's the consistency? Mike?
Well, they come from Texas and about this new offense they have called Texas Coast Offense. A little
Texas Burnt Toast.
An amalgamation of the West Coast offense with the old number systems that we used to have.
I love the Texas Coast, by the way. I love this.
Right, that's what it's called, right?
Right.
Okay.
Amalgamation.
Okay, go ahead. But now, and you talked about a lot about playing complementary football, right? Mm-hmm. That's what Mike McCarthy talked about. That's why he took over the reins to play complementary football, because that's the most important part. They want to all work together. But the reality is, when I see this Texas Coast offense, I see an offense that's not moving, but also doesn't have the players to do what it does. When we play, we had physical guys on the edge. Physical guys on the edge. So you can leave guys where they are, and we can go dominate. They don't have those physical guys on the edge. They got the Brandon Cooks and Mike McCarthy. Those guys you have to put in motion so they don't have to worry about the press. You got to give them opportunity to make plays with what they do best. I don't want to see these guys going across the middle of the field. I want to see them do more of this. Let them go deep.
Let them go deep.
Pick ball up the field. They got to get their offense playing complementary football within itself, meaning let the players do what they do best. Stop asking them to do what they do best.
The Cowboys are probably the most inconsistent team in the National Football League.
They're consistent with being inconsistent.
Way down in their first two games, you know, when they beat the New York teams like crazy, I thought, okay, this is a three-horse race now in the NFC, right? The Eagles and the Niners. And then Arizona just runs the ball right down their throat. And then they rebound and then beat the heck out of the Patriots 38-3. And then they just, that San Francisco game, that was the eye-opener, right? This is like a preview of one playoff game. Well, it was lopsided. And when I'm getting ready for tomorrow's show with Dallas, I'm looking at Dak. And Dak is just as inconsistent. Sometimes he's terrific. And then sometimes he gives you one of those, what was that? And so consistency is what they're looking for. They're not there yet.
When you were writing down amalgamation, how did you spell it?
Yes, well, phonetically, amalgamation. He said, I write down curvisms, okay?
Okay.
Ether, here, and so this is going in that book.
All right, so we'll see what happens with the Cowboys, of course, today. We'll be here, Red Brick House. We'll do my hair. My wife will do my hair, get that looking better, make a run to Home Depot, go to Walmart, get some supplies so that way I can actually eat and nourish myself. And we're going to be doing some really cool different things today. It's going to be nice. So definitely tune in, be part of the Joe Boo Sports Report, and we'll see you here. Peace.